Evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are watching us from. I'm Comfort Eyitayo, your regular host for Connect with Comfort show. We are glad you are able to join us today. We normally aim to add value to people on business enterprise and personal growth on this show, and we feature guests who are subject matter experts on the topic that we are treating in order to shed more insight into the topic of the day. Once again, I welcome you warmly and thank you for joining us. Today's discussion is on a topic of utmost importance to businesses, and that is the blueprint for exceptional service delivery. In a world where customer expectations are constantly evolving and competition is very fierce, the ability to provide exceptional service is not only just required but very, very necessary if you want to succeed. I'm sure every business wants to succeed. Service excellence is not a one size fits all. We have to be able to adapt it to the dictates or desires of our customers. So in that wise, it requires a carefully drawn up plan that you can call a blueprint if you want to achieve the required success. You outline the strategies, principles, and practices needed to consistently meet and exceed customers' expectations. Today, we will look into the key components of this blueprint. We will explore the fundamental principles that drive exceptional service delivery with some real world examples of organizations that have successfully implemented these strategies. But before we go into the details, let us take a moment to ponder, why is exceptional service delivery important? It is simple. In this world that customers' expectation is changing every day and they have choices out there, a lot of competition is begging for their attention. So they have choice. Therefore, we need to make sure that we go beyond satisfying their basic needs. We need to create emotional connection, foster loyalty, and transform a one-time buyer of our product or services into a lifelong advocate. That is, they on their own will even advocate for us on our services or products. So with that said, I invite you to join me into looking deeply into this topic shortly after this break. Please remain connected. You are welcome back. Our guest is already in the house waiting patiently for us. And our distinguished guest for today's topic is Simisola Afilaka. Simisola Afilaka is a vision executioner and coach, project administrator, public speaker, and she's also an author. She released a book recently, Working Your Way to the top. She's currently the chief executive operational officer of the Gemstone Group of companies and the chief of staff. I like that, chief of staff for his founder, the founder of Gemstone. That is Fela Durotoye. Fela Durotoye is an executive coach, leadership expert, and global speaker. And our guest is so passionate about helping people to bat their desire to fruition. So we are in good hands today for this very important topic. Join me in welcoming our guest for today's show, Simisola Afilaka. You are welcome, Simisola, to
Thank you so
Connect
much,
with Comfort
ma'am.
Show. We appreciate you joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Go
Thank you
ahead.
so much. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Okay. So we'll go straight to the interview session. And the first one is to ask you, what does exceptional service delivery mean in the context of business or any organization setting?
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, ma'am, once again for having me. And to everyone, trust you're having a fantastic Sunday evening. And thank you for being here and spending this evening with us this evening. So, what is exceptional service delivery? I think that depending on the industry that you are in. So, for example, I'm in the knowledge development space where we do a lot of
Did you get
trainings.
okay? You need to speak up a bit.
Okay, can you hear me? Am
Yes,
I audible?
better
Okay,
now.
fantastic. Okay, so I was talking about exceptional service delivery in the context of my organization. I presently work in the knowledge development space, where we do a lot of learning and training and retreats and the likes for organization and individuals. And one of the things that I have learned about exceptional service delivery, it is being able to, in a way, in the most simplest terms, is being able to make your customers or your clients happy consistently, right? And I put that word consistently as a key thing. It is not a one-off doing good at once, but it's knowing what your customers want, what your clients want. What are they looking for when they come to your organization? What are their expectations when they come to your business? And whatever expectation that is being able to meet up with that expectation, not once, but consistently. So if you ask me, it is that unconditional commitment, is that consistent commitment to ensure that your customers' needs, your clients' needs are always met. And I would even add to that, always exceeded. There's something my boss always talks about to say almost over under promise and over deliver. And I think if there was a way I could couple that, I would say that's what exceptional service delivery means. It's under promise. So tell your customers you will deliver something in 5 days, and then you go deliver it in 3 days. That is exceptional customer service delivery. It's doing it consistently and it is doing it continuously. That's what I would say to that, ma'am.
Thank you very much. That is very, very detailed. We have to keep the customers happy so
Yes.
that they continue to come back over and over again. Thank you. Can you then describe the key components of a blueprint for exceptional service delivery with regard to the strategic plan that you will need to make to deliver this as the blueprint? So, what are the key components?
Okay, fantastic. I would start by saying that um, before the theory of a strategy document, which I know is really the crux of the conversation here, I would even like to piggyback a bit to say that to be able to achieve exceptional cost service delivery, it even starts with the person. It starts with your art. It starts with the mindset. Because one of the mistakes organizations can do is that we can have this beautiful document that talks about the processes and the systems and the hows and how we do this. But if we are not particular about mindset of the people to deliver this, we are just going to have a fantastic document and still not deliver on it. So I would start that on that process of building your blueprint. One, we first have to check the mindset of the people. It has to be a continuous work in every organization, being sure that everyone that passes through that organization, everyone that is in that space of interfacing with the customers, whether the internal customers or the external customers, everyone interfacing with the customers have the right mindset towards service is. Which is why, for example, I wrote the book Serve Your Way to the Top, because I think it was important for people to understand what service is, not just as an act, but really starts from the art. So if we're able to just tick that and ensure that everyone working in this organization, everyone working in this business has the right perspective to what service is, then we have gone through step one. Then now we go to the next step. So, okay, what does this strategy document want to look like? And there are key complements I would say. The first one is know your customers. Who are the people that you are serving, right? My business can be looking at certain kinds of audience. Your business can be looking at another kind of audience. You need to know who are your customers, what are their needs, what are their desires. You need to understand your audience. For some people, your audience can be business class, can be business professional. For somebody else, your audience can be students. So the first thing is start, know your customers, know your audience, understand, literally go on and study your audience. For you to have your blueprint, you need to first know your audience. That's the first thing I would mention. The second thing I would also mention is also just know your own processes, right? So yes, you know your customers, you know your audience, you
Okay,
understand
thank you
their
very much.
emotion, their likes, but you also need to now know your own processes, and then just continuously just listen to them and ask. You, I think that for every blueprint, we have to really, I would say, listen to the customers to know what to have on it. Listen to what the customers want, because we're not just building a blueprint in our minds, but we're listening to the customers. What do they want? What do they desire? So I would just mention that a bit. One, it starts with the art. Two, know your customer, know your audience, and then understand your own process that can align with that, and then continuously listen to your customers. So that's what I would really just summarize there.
Th- Thank you very much. Thank you for going to that much detail about that. It's very important question. So after explaining all this, how do you differentiate, or how would you say exceptional service delivery differs from the standard service delivery?
I would say that what differentiates exceptional and average is what I said in the beginning, and that is the arts. That is your mindset. That is your perspective. The way you know someone who is giving exceptional service and the person that is giving the average service is that one of them is has a mindset to serve, has a mindset to ensure that my customers, my clients are at the happiest state. The person giving exceptional service has a mindset to know that I will do all that I can to ensure that I am able to achieve the desire of my customer. And the other person who is just giving an average work is literally just ticking something. Yeah, they said we should get to work in the morning. They said we should send this document to the customers, whether the customers like it or not. That person is just following something. It's just following a template, not giving all of themselves in it. So if you ask me, what's the difference? One of it is ultimately your perspective, it's ultimately your art, it's ultimately your mindset to service. That's what differentiates someone who is giving exceptional service and someone who is giving really average service. It's your mindset, it's your perspective, it's your art. That's how you differentiate it. That's how you know the difference.
Thank you very much. So how do you make sure that these exceptional services that you render remain consistent? Because you even said it in your definition of the blueprint, that what you do consistent. How do you make sure that it's consistent?
Okay, I would say that is where monitoring comes in, right? So the first one I would say is training. We have to consistently and continually train our people. Our people have to. So the fact that we trained them 6 months ago on our services doesn't mean that we should not train them again. So there has to be that consistent training of our people on our services, on how to service our customers and how to make our customers happy. That's the first one. Then the second one is just supervision and monitoring, right? We need to be able to put in some guardrails, I would say, some checks and balances to ensure that if we have set out a certain blueprint, a certain template, everyone in our organization is following through. For many people, I know that there are some businesses that you call, and if you had called your customer service, you would hear something like, oh, this call is being recorded and might be for, for something purposes. For me, that is the organization trying to put a bit of checks and balances, just ensuring that their staff are going through the process. They're not jumping, they're not saying things that they should not say. So I think one way to do that is just continuously, one, train the people, and the second one I would say is just monitor and supervise randomly, put checks and balances randomly, and monitor and supervise. And the third one, I would say, get feedback from your customers. They are the ones that can tell. Feedback, send them, how did they do today? And many organizations do that, where you get, after going through a service, they send you an email to say, oh, how was that experience like for you? That is them trying to measure the level of service delivery that you got. So the first one I would say is training. The second one I would say is monitor and supervise, and the third one is just get feedback from your customers. That's how I would cap that.
Thank you very, very much. So, what role does feedback play in developing and refining a blueprint service?
Oh, fantastic. I think that feedback is the voice of your customers, right? When we say exceptional service delivery, we are not just building a service delivery for building sake, right? It is the voice of your customers. And so what feedback does is that it ensures that you are able to look at what your process is right now and begin to determine, what can I change? So for example, if you were doing something and maybe your customer gives a certain feedback about something that you are doing, what that does for you is that it gets you to go back to the drawing room, go back to the strategy room, and say, what can we begin to amend? What can we begin to switch? Right? So what feedback does, honestly, it kind of like, it helps us become better. It helps us continually improve our blueprint. The thing about it is that your blueprint is not a static document. It is not oh, if I've done it once, that's all I will need for the rest. No, we have to continually keep improving on it, keep modifying it. That's why we have stage we have almost like your model one, your model, just keep improving on it. And so what feedback does is that it gives you the information. It helps you to know what your customers are thinking. It helps you to know how you are doing. Because as a business, we can have fantastic ideas, and we are all in our heads, and we're like, oh, if we do this to what the customers will love it, and if we do this, they will love it. And maybe on the other part of the coin, the customers don't really like it, right? So what feedback does, it enables you to take a step back and begin to review as the customers want. It begins to help you to modify your plan in a way that you meet the needs and desires of your customer. Let's remember, service delivery is not about the business. It's not about you, the CEO. It's not about you, but it is about the customer. So when a customer gives you feedback, that is telling you that this is how I want to be served. This is how I want to be served. And the work in there for businesses and CEOs is to be able to amend our blueprint to the desires and needs of our customers. Okay, I can't hear you, ma'am.
So, can you give an example of companies or organizations that have successfully implemented this type of blueprint for exceptional service delivery? Just one example would do.
Okay, fantastic. I would start with the organization that I work with, because that's the one that is really just ready on my mind, right? So like I
We'll
said,
pardon you for paid advertisement.
that's the one readily on my mind. Uh, so okay, so I would try to be. I would be as big as I can be. So for example, in the organization that I serve with, we do a lot of engagements with organizations. We do a lot of engagements with individuals. And one of the things that we have studied in that is to say, okay, what are the processes of our engagements? Right. So when a customer comes in today, or a client comes in today and says, "Oh, I want to buy one of this your service," what is the next thing that we need to do? You remember I said, know your customers. What kind of customers are we looking for? So the first thing that we had to do was, even the person engaging with the clients, It has to be someone that we know that the client will be happy to speak to, right? We have to be sure that, okay, whoever the client is engaging with is someone that, okay, they feel like I can have a conversation with. So it's knowing our customers, knowing what it is that they desire. We realize that at some point, we could not do just email engagement. So when a client comes, because of the kind of product and service we offer, they really like when you have to go and have a meeting with them, right? They don't necessarily like emails. They're the kinds of people that you want you to sit down and have a conversation with them. So in the drawing of our blueprint, we got to a level where we're like, okay, for this customer, for this kind of business, don't just say I'm sending you an email. No, ask for a meeting, right? Ask for either a virtual meeting or a physical meeting. Have a conversation. Let the client knows the other person behind the business. Let them have a face to it. Again, that is us drawing, because we know our customer, we understand our customer. We're able to say, okay, what do our clients want, right? What else can we add to what it is that we have promised them? So we know if our clients have gone through this training, what do they want next? How else can we begin to supersede what it is that we have done? And then, of course, like I said, listen to the customers. So if the client comes and says, "Oh, I don't, I no, I had a 3 hour session, but I wish it was shorter," then that is feedback for us. We're like, okay, no problem. We go back to the drawing board. How can we make our products not so long? How do we make them, slim? How do we, reduce the time? Because our customers were listening to the customers, were listening to what they want. So I guess that I think ultimately, like I said, it's knowing your customer, understanding your process, and just listening to their needs. So for me, that's a bit of example I will give in what it is that I presently do in my organization right now.
Okay, thank you. So, what strategies or tactics can businesses use to motivate and empower employees to deliver exceptional service? Like you are demonstrating to us now. So, what is that strategy that fella?
Ah,
Go on.
what strategies? I think that one, you have to paint the picture. Every employee wants to know what the big picture is, right? So in our organization, what we try to do is paint the picture of the role that you are playing. So, for example, in my organization, there are different kinds of people that work in there. I have the IT person, I have the graphics person, I have my community engagement person. We have all these people, and what we try to do is try to paint the big picture that your role matters, right? The way you treat our clients matter. Understand the role that you play in the big picture. So I think the first one is the organizations one being able to just show them the vision, right? You know how it is, and it's not just a one-off or what we're trying to. I think is that it's continuous and consistent. It's show them the vision, show them what it is that we're trying to do. What are we working on? What is the impact of what we are working on? When employees know that they are they feel like, okay, I'm not just showing up in the office, I'm showing up to do something. So for example, if you ask me, I'm excited every day I wake up because I'm showing up to impact lives, and that is joy to my soul. So whilst as I'm doing different activities, I am impacting lives. So that is the vision that has been shown in front of me. So that wakes me up in the morning. So that's the first one. The second one I would say is train, train, train. Organizations need to consistently and continuously train your people. It's like that. The Bible, in a part of the Bible, talks about renewing of the mind, and it's the same thing for organizations. We have to continually renew the minds of our people consistently, and it doesn't have to be grand or big, and it just sometimes it's what happens every week in the meeting and somebody is having a conversation. So in our organization, every week one of the things that we get to do is that we talk about values, and each week we're having conversations about a certain value, and we're talking about it and how does this apply, right? So that consistent training and knowledge development and knowledge upgrade with your employees is important, right? So that's the first one. Show them the vision. Two is just training, train, 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 and then just guide them with coaches and mentors, I would say. Yes, there are supervisors and bosses that are watching what it is that we do, but as much as you can, be able to guide your employees, guide your staff in a way that they know that, if I hit a brick wall, I know who to come to meet. If I hit a challenge, I know who to come to meet. Just guide them as they go so that they can become better people. And if they're better people, they will want to serve better. They will want to give their best. If they ultimately know that, if I give my best at work, my customers will be happy. If the customers are happy, we will make more money. If we make more money, my salary is stable. So it's a cycle, right? But that's how it will work. But yes, that's what I would share with that. I can hear you, ma'am.
Sorry. Are there any specific KPIs that needs to be observed or to use to be track sources of service delivery, exceptional service delivery now?
Yes, I think that that's where that's the feedback that we get from our customers. That is the KPIs. If you ask me, I would almost call them customer satisfaction. So for example, for us, for every engagement that we do, for every retreat that we do, we send a feedback form to our customers to know how well was this for you? How did you enjoy this? If we did something for you, did you in terms of in 1 to 5, what was the impact to you? So I think those KPIs will be determined by one, the organization, the industry that we are in, but also it will also be determined by the feedback from our customers, right? That would serve as what we are using to measure the work that we do. And like I said again, feedback is the art of it all. So that's that KPI that we're looking for. Is going to be measured by how the customers feel. It's going to be measured by what the customers think about the service they have experienced from us. And really just areas of improvement that our customers are saying we can do better at. So yes, I would say KPI. I will batch that really with the feedback from the customers.
Okay. So in all this, what role does leadership and management play in fostering the culture of employees giving or the business giving an exceptional service delivery?
Oh, there's I think the service delivery starts from the top. It starts everyone is literally looking at the leader. Everyone is literally looking up in quotes to say, how is this person leading? How is this person serving? And just to put a bit of it in context, I know that when we talk about service delivery, we think of it as just serving external customers. But I also like to put a bit of context that even with service delivery, there are internal customers. The leaders in the organizations, the CEOs in the organizations need to be seen as serving the people, right? They need to be seen as people who also have that heart and mindset of serving the people. And what does it mean by serving the people? Is ask yourself, how can you help your staff today, right? Yes, you can you can design a beautiful blueprint to say, oh, your staff needs to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but then you don't provide the tools for your staff to do that. So as a CEO, you need to be able to listen to your staff. You need to be able to say, how can I serve you? How can I ensure I am supporting you and coaching you to deliver? So what is the work of the leadership? I think leadership really everything I would say starts and ends in there. People are watching leadership. People are watching how they are. We can't just tell your staff to say, oh, serve the people, do exceptional. And you as the leader, you are not doing that. No, it doesn't work like that. People have to see someone that they are modeling. So if you want your staff to go over and above for your clients, as a leader, as a CEO, they need to see you going over and above, not just in words, but in your actions. They need to see you going over and above for their needs, but not just their needs. They need to see you going over and above also for their clients, right? So I think that leadership is a mirror of what it is you want the people to do, right? And it's almost like people will do what they see you do, not what they see you say. If they will do what they see you do. So I think that leadership and management just they hold a very critical role in exceptional service delivery. That's what I would say.
Thank you. In all this, some businesses may be wondering that are we big enough to do all this? So, if you are thinking of small businesses or startup, how are they able to, excuse me, fit in into this all that you have said to
I think
be
that
able
is
to
that
offer exceptional?
yeah. I believe that a small organization has the most incredible opportunity to build your blueprint from start, right? Because this way as a small organization, number one, you may or may not have a lot of customers. So this way you are able to listen to your customers more, you're able to get feedback from your customers more. So you are a small organization is in the very best position to be able to inculcate this exceptional service delivery in their processes. right? And it starts with where you are, and one, understanding your customers and understanding your processes, and ensuring that everyone I am employing in my organization, everyone I am hiring, has the right mindset to service. As a CEO, of whether you have 3 people in your organization, or 1 person, or 2 people, or 5 or 10, you have the opportunity to begin to shape the mindset of the people. It's different when you have 1,000 people that you are working with, right? It's a lot. But if you have 5, if you have 10, you are able to sit down with your staff one on one, have conversations with them. So this is how we serve our customers. This is why we should serve our customers. So I think that small organizations even have a better opportunity, in quotes, to be able to give exceptional service delivery than sometimes even the bigger. Yes, there's a lot of more work, but smaller organizations even have a better opportunity to be able to do that. And that way you're able to listen closely. You have those customers that are very dear to your heart. They're happy to share their feedback with you. They're not just they feel like they have the ear of the business. And at that point, it is easy for you to build your blueprint. It is easy for you to hire people that have the right mindset, have the right perspective towards services, have the right perspective to just delivering exceptional service to your people, and then just build them from there as you go. So I will just cap that by saying I think that customers, small businesses, really, just, you guys are in the very best place, the very best place to do this.
regardless of their limited resources.
Yes, yes,
Well,
yes.
regardless, okay. That's good to know. Are there any ethical considerations or principle that we need to factor in incorporating exceptional delivery, service delivery?
Um, in terms of ethical consideration, I would say that again, there are, depending on the industry that you work in, it would have to be related to the industry that you are working with. It would have to be connected. Just, you have to look at your industry, you have to look at your business, and you have to look at the kind of customers that you serve in that business, and be able to determine what is right and what is wrong. There are basics what is wrong regardless of the industry. But I think that if you have an organization that is thinking of how can I give my best to the customer, how can I ensure that I am serving the customer, but how can I ensure that, is one thing, and I would just say this very clear. We can say, oh, serve your customer, and then you have a customer that wants you to do something fraudulent. No, right? As an organization, you need to have your own, I would say, have your own values, have your own way of doing things, and ensuring that while says you want to serve your customers and give your customers the very best, you are also within the I would say within the area of the limits of your values. You are able to deliver good customer service to them. At no point should you have to do anything that goes against your values because you're trying to service, or you're trying to give exceptional service. Whatever exceptional service we are trying to do has to be within the limit of the values that we have set for our organization. So if we say in our organization, we are an organization of integrity, we would not bribe, we don't, with that corruption is not even anywhere in our space, we are not going to go there because we're trying to do that for any customer. That is not what it means, right? We have to ensure that we are still within the limit of our values, even as we serve our customers. So that's what I would say to that, ma'am. Okay, I can hear you, ma'am.
So how do you balance the exceptional service with cost efficiency and profitability? You are mindful of profitability, cost efficiency, at at the same time you want to offer exceptional service.
Yes.
How do you strike the balance?
I would say, and this is something I've learned from my boss. I would say look for the low hanging fruits. Sometimes it's not in the big things. There are many ineffective costs. No, I would say there are many cost effective, high impact things um, that can be done for our customers, right? But we need to be able to think of what are the low hanging fruit. Sometimes it's not in the big things. So when I was talking about, for example, training your customers, training your staff, you don't have to bring a big yes to come in to say, oh, we are paying this person. No, it can be, okay, let's get a book that we're all reading. But we know that when we read this book, our perspective will change. That is another way of training your staff. but we have to now begin to look for creative ways in the cost effective but high impact activities that we can do, whether it is for within the organization as staff, but also for the customers in itself. And sometimes it's in the messages that we send, and it's in the smile. But there's no price to a smile. Even if a customer comes to a business, right? And there's a policy that says when your customer comes in, make sure you smile, right? There is no how much does it take to smile? There is no money that is there. But you must know that there is a big difference with that. So you have to look for what are those little things that we can do. It's in the courtesy, it's in the attitude. Those things are cost effective but also high impact. So it's being creative and looking at those areas and saying, how can I serve my customers with these things?
Thank you very much. The last point quickly because of your time. What trend or innovation do you foresee that will influence the future of exceptional service delivery?
Okay, what trend? Um, I would say ultimately that, again, I will come back to this listening to your customers, um, because as an organization, we do not know it all. We do not know it all. So if there's anything that would remain in this season and in the next season and in the next business season, is just the adaptability to the needs of our customers, the adaptability and the flexibility to the desires and to the feedback from our customers. So whether it is now, whether it is in the next season, is just being able to be adaptable to what it is our customers want. What are they seeking for? What are they looking for? What are they asking for? It's been sensitive. It's the organizations that will survive this season and the next season are the organizations that are flexible, that are adaptable, that are not so stuck on, oh, this is how we must serve our customers. Many organizations, many businesses have gone from brick and mortar to online, right? So it's knowing that, oh, my customers don't want to enter into a store, a physical store anymore. They want to go online, they want to sit down in their rooms, they want to browse and find things there. But it takes a business that is adaptable. So what would make a business stand the test of time? I would say a business that is adaptable, a business that is consistently and continually listening to the needs and desires of their customers. And that is what will stand the test of time, and will determine the season and how things go from now and just as we go on.
Thank you very much. You've been so wonderful. I wish we can go on and on. You've really given us a lot to ponder about on this very important topic. I'm aware of your time constraints, so that I'm going to limit it there. But if you have a parting shot, what would it be for our listeners?
Um, my parting shot would be service starts from the art, beyond the act, beyond the strategy, beyond the documents. It starts from the art. And if you have the right art, if you have the right perspective, you have the right mind, every other thing will be easy. You'll be adaptable. You would be
Be
happy to
flexible.
listen. You'll be flexible. But it starts from the art. So in everything that we are looking for, let's look at the art first. That's where service starts from. So that'll be my parting words.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Sumi Sola. You've done wonderfully well. I'm not really surprised knowing your if I call it boss, permit me to use the word, and it's right to call you the chief of staff because you have everything together. Thank you very much, and for
Thank you.
sparing time out of your busy schedule. I appreciate you. I hope next time when we come calling, you oblige us.
Yes, it'll be a
Thank you.
joy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So yes, thank you. We'll go on a short break and be right back. Before we go, I would like to appreciate Dr. Aseyin, regular viewer from Abuja, and then other constant follower. Thank you very much. We'll go on a short break right now. We'll be right back for the recap session.
I was searching, I was looking for meaning. I was wondering, desperately trying only to see I have nothing missing. Who said I have to find who I am? Who said that I am lost to begin with? I am already enough. Everything I need is within me. Each morning when I wake up, I'm grateful for the beauty around me. Life is a gift, I wanna enjoy it. Always proving my worth only destroys it. I am already enough. Everything I need is within me.
You are welcome back and thank you for remaining connected with us. I'm sure you have gained one or two things from the insights shared by our guest. She has done very well on the topic. As a form of recap, we already know the importance, as she has told us, the importance of having exceptional service delivery. It means we have sustainable business because customers will keep coming back. We will have satisfied customers, and we even have referral from those customers. So it is very important for businesses that want to grow to aim at giving that exceptional service delivery at all times. We also need to understand our customers' expectation. And most times, whatever strategies that we are adopting, we must always see that as the beginning, as the minimum. We must aim at surpassing customers' expectation at all times. That is what will endear us to our customers, knowing that we're able to deliver much more than they expect. We also need to create a customer centric culture, that is building every activity around the desires of our customer, listening to them, communicating to make sure that it is what they want and not just what we desire that we are giving them. That is very important. So we also have to set clear service standards. This will go a long way to help us to even help our employees, because they are one of our major stakeholders, as we have identified in some of our previous show. We need to set that clear goal, that clear standard, so that they know what our values are, what our mission and the vision of the business, for them to be able to key in appropriately and deliver best value to our customer. Also, this also dovetail into the training or development of employee. We have to constantly train our employees to make sure that they are best positioned to deliver that exceptional service to service delivery to our customers. We also have to learn the art of communicating effectively. Just talking to someone does not mean you are communicating. Communication is a two-way thing. It's not just talking down on someone or just talking to someone, but that person must be able to understand what you are saying, must be able to be part of technology. In all that we do now, we know technology has a big part to play in it. We must be ready to embrace technology to make sure that we use those tools that will enhance our effectiveness, efficiency, and also make us to operate more cost efficiently. For instance, we have the AI, chatbots, and other tools which will help us to improve customers' experiences. Problem solving and resolution handling is another important thing. Like our guest said, feedback is one of the biggest tool that makes us to know if we are on the right track or not. When you get a feedback that is complaining about one thing or the other, maybe the way you offer your product or your services, we must take it seriously. As long as it's a constructive criticism, we should not shy away from it. It's in looking at those complaints and making corrections that we can be more effective. So we must also be mindful of that. And continuous improvement of your products or services is also key. Let it be that the customer will say, oh, this is even better than before. Not that you used to be good, but now what has happened to you? So you have to have the culture of having continuous improvement for your goods or services. We also need to learn to measure and monitor service quality. It is important. That is what will make us remain competitive. If we are doing all this and the quality of our service or product is going down, customers will walk away. So we need to ensure that we have a process within our operational structure that monitors effectively the standards of services rendered or quality produced. We need to empower our employees, because when you have satisfied employees, then you can be sure that the goals of the company will be achieved. We need to discuss strategies for building long-term relationship, customer relationship with them, and also have loyalty programs, how to retain them these days of frequent high labor turnover. We need to do all that. Then the challenges and pitfalls. Life is it's not complete without challenges. Even on personal life, you have challenges. So we have to know how to mitigate those challenges and possibly reduce them to the barest minimum. But we have to have that strategy in place to overcome these challenges. So in a nutshell, the form of conclusion for this program is to say it is necessary for us to develop blueprints for exceptional service delivery, and we have to look at all the key elements that we have discussed today to make sure that we exceed our customers' expectation at all times. As we prepare to implement these insights into our respective businesses, let us remember delivering exceptional service is not a one-time effort, but an ongoing commitment. You have to keep going at it and improving as you go along. It requires also dedication, adaptability, flexibility, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. It is when you are relentless that you get to the top. I encourage you all to take knowledge gained today and apply it in your day-to-day operations. Embrace the power of empathy as well when dealing with customers, so that they see you identifying with them, identifying with their pains or challenges. Harness the potential of technology, as we have said, and foster a culture of continuous learning and improvement with your team. In closing, let us carry forward the spirit of today's discussion and strive for exceptional service delivery in every interaction, every transaction, every moment that we have. Together, we can elevate our organizations or businesses and make positive impact on the lives of our customers. I would like to appreciate all of you that have joined today, those that have seen on the screen, Dr. Aseyin and our regular and our other regular followers. I want to appreciate you, and even those that are joining us for the first time today. I appreciate you all for connecting with us. Please keep in touch for further assistance on this topic or any topic that we have dealt with before or of your choice. I hope you have all enjoyed today's episode. Please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Comfort Eyitayo. And once you have subscribed, please turn on the notification button, like and share our videos. Stay updated with information about our upcoming events, solutions, and offers on my Instagram account as well as Comfort Eyitayo, as well as my Facebook. Till I come your way again, may journey towards exceptional service be a rewarding one for you. I say bye for now and take care.